Hey class, this is Mrs. Whitson, and this video. Well, there'll be a lot of videos for students this year from me, but this video is really for students and parents to help you get settled in with the class. We're getting a little bit of a late start. We usually have a tech check in where everybody logs in the week before, but I was traveling, just got back, so we will be following up. Heather Johnson is my assistant teacher, and she and I will be checking up with each of you individually to make sure that you're all settled in with how to log in with our classroom and you've got your headphones and our microphone tested up. So we'll be following up with you as we go along. There is a textbook for the class, and I hope you have seen that already. It is available on Amazon. If you have any issues getting a hold of the textbook, please let me know, because Gifted Homeschool Forum is working with Ms. Hakeem and Smithsonian. There's a potential reissue of her works coming up soon, and so they're not reprinting the current ones yet, but your students will actually be receiving some of the new content in this class. But do get the textbook, and if you can, I recommend, it's not required, but I do recommend the Johns Hopkins workbook, which is also available on Amazon. It's called the Student Quest book, and it's recommended. It's not required. Just there are only one or two things that we absolutely do pull out of that book. If you're looking for a class that gives you daily assignments so that you can use this in your daily homeschooling plan for science, many of those daily assignments will be pulled from the workbook. So we're trying to expand that. Some students use this as an enrichment class, and some students really need a daily set of exercises and things to keep their science stuff afloat. We'll also be pulling from outside the workbook for that, but if you are looking for the extra daily assignments, you probably want to get the workbook. So you do have two different accounts, which can be confusing to your students. So please help them set this up this week, and make sure. I recommend that you provide, put bookmarks where they can find them. This is my Electa bookmark, so I can log in. I'm going to talk you through how to set up the MyHaiku account just now. Electa is our classroom. MyHaiku is our extra web page. So Electa is where we have our classroom meetings where they will attend class, and MyHaiku is where they'll find the links to everything else. Okay, just had to flick away to make sure I got this video. So in the email I'm about to send out to you, I'm about to hit send on as soon as I get the links for this video. There is this link, and that is going to help you if you've never set up a haiku thing, which I think nobody in this class has. Oh, I might have some computer science people in this class. So you'll need to get this. I'm going to open up an incognito window because I have all these things, once you've set it up to recognize your login, it's hard to show you what it will look like. You don't have to use incognito. It's just, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So, because if I log in, if I just type in MyHaiku, it's going to log me in. Okay, so your first time setting this up, you just copy and paste that address, and it ends with the sign up. The sign up's the last term in that address. And then it takes you to a thing on Haiku that will ask you for our class code. Oh, I forgot to say, I started using them when they were MyHaiku class, and we're sort of grandfathered into the MyHaiku side, but this will sometimes show up as PowerSchool Learning because they were bought by PowerSchool Learning after I started using them. Okay, so at the end of this is our code. So you just copy and paste that into the invitation code. Okay, now it gives you the option to set up a student or a parent account. Please set up your student's account first. Most people who've set up parent accounts have said they didn't really end up using them. They just had their student login and looked at things under theirs. If your student has their own email that they will check fairly regularly, go ahead and use that email for this account, because if I correct something in a previous post or something, the system will automatically email at midnight all the changes that have happened on our class webpage in a nice email that has all the links to it, so it's easy to find anything that's changed or been added. And I guess just have that sent to an email where you know that either you'll have your student look at it, or it's not terribly important to keep it up to date, but students who want to be kept up to date, make sure that's headed that way. So you'll be asked to submit to a student thing, and then you can set up your account. And your class will show up, and you will be able to click on 2017 Aristotle Leads the Way, and when you do, you should see something like this. Now, we're going to, Heather and I, between now and class time next week, will be, don't do any of the homeworks ahead, because they are definitely changing, we're definitely changing the homeworks, but we will be sprucing this up a bit and filling some things in. But there is some stuff that you can get started with now. I just want to familiarize you with what's going on here. The first thing, I just try to have the really quick links. This includes Google Earth, which we'll talk about later, and a file that you can use to test your Google Earth. Welcome in Class News is where we will update things with a little bit more detail and explanation, and sometimes add cool things like, what did Aristotle think about flies and snot, which is very interesting. Some quick links, which will probably move to the other thing. We also have a wiki page for students. This is not a graded project or anything like that, but a lot of students, this is your opportunity to meet some people who share similar interests, and other gifted kids across the country. And so what you can do here, your student can just add a page, type their name, and please just add one page per student. So then you can go to your page, and other students won't see it until you hit publish, but your student can add any content they want to their page. Of course, keep it appropriate and professional. They can add any content they want about any topic they're interested in. Videos, Minecraft usernames, Scratch usernames, different ways to connect with each other. I do ask that people talk to their students about, don't provide private information on the web page, even though you'll feel that you know these people very well. We, Heather and I, will do what we can to make connections parent to parent for students who want to get in touch, and make sure that that's okay. Students are allowed to send each other messages. I haven't had a problem with this before in my class, but I tell each class the same thing, and that is, if rules are broken or inappropriate or mean things are happening in messages student to student, it will simply be eliminated for all students. I know that's unfair, but that is, until we have a situation that arises, it's hard to know what else to do. But when you write, what you do is you go to messages and you click on inbox, and when they hit write, they can send an email. Right now, all that shows up are the teachers. And whenever you want to send an email to me, you will hear most from me, because I will be in the lectures. Heather will be doing a lot of the grading, but Heather is very much happening. 4 days a week, she and I will meet about classes and talk about these things, and she'll be doing grading. So your students might not hear her voice, but she's very integral. Anytime you need to schedule a meeting with me, it's much better to send an inbox to all teachers. That goes to both Heather and myself. It will text me on my phone, so instead of getting lost in my huge Gmail inbox with a lot of other stuff that's going on, it will text me that there's a message. And also Heather will put it on the list of things to make sure that we absolutely get back to people within 24 to 48 hours to schedule a one-on-one or answer a question or that sort of thing. So please send to all teachers, not just me, because it may get lost in the thing. But once the other students have joined, their names will appear on here, and students can send other students messages privately and about anything. But and parents, please report to me at any time if there is something troubling going on with that. Okay, that's about it for my first 10 minutes. I will close this video and start our second 10 minutes, and we'll wrap up with the rest of the stuff you need to know about haiku.